Shalom everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Ramadan with Rabs video. So today I'm doing a little bit of a more simple look, no lashes, no eyeshadow, just a really nice wing with a neon liner, which I have fallen in love with this, like just doing it. So we're going to go over a little bit of that technique, and then as well as I'm going to go over how I got this skin look. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that everyone is still staying safe and at home during this quarantine season and enjoying the video upload every day. So if you guys are excited for today's video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps me a lot, and let's just get into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start off with is by priming our skin, and today I'm using the Benefit Pore-fessional primer. So it's a flesh toned primer, and I'm just going to focus this mainly on the parts of my face that get really oily, because I'm going to try and keep this look pretty natural. So now I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in the shade Medium Tan Neutral. So this kind of fits my skin tone a little bit better. And I'm basically just going to go around and hit this everywhere I feel like I have like just something I want to cover. You don't want to go in with too much of this because, again, to keep it looking really light and natural, I'm also going to just run this right underneath of my brow and also cover the lids with this. I'm going to go in with a brand new clean beauty blender and start just pushing all of that into my skin. And you'll see it really does, like, even just this step alone makes my skin just look really nice and one-toned. And you could use this just if you wanted just this as like your all over base, but I want to go in with something a little bit hydrating. Now I'm going to go in with the ColourpopPretty Fresh. This is our Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer, and I have this in the shade Medium Dark 13W. I'm just going to pump it onto the Beauty Blender and start just working that onto my skin. And this is like barely to almost no coverage. This is mostly just like for me to help make sure everything's one tone, cover up any of those concealer lines. I did review this product in my Colourpop First Impressions, like almost full face. I'll link the video here and in the down bar. And I did say that I wasn't really sure about how I liked it because it is like such light, almost no coverage. But with this technique of like having a concealer just cover up slight parts of your blemishes and not have like a whole thick layer on your face, I feel like this works really, really well. So this is what my skin is looking like right now. I honestly really like it. I feel like the really good thing about that Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer is that it leaves your skin looking very natural and clean, and it's not like tacky or like, you know how some moisturizers are very like waste, I don't know the word, but just like they leave like a residue on your skin. This one I feel like it blends into your skin really nice. Now I'm going to go with a different shade of the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is just in the medium shade. And I'm just going to lightly bring this underneath of my eyes. I'm not going to do like anything really dramatic with this, again, just to make sure everything looks really clean and natural. And I'm just going to highlight down the center of my face. And again, just blending and tapping that concealer into place. I feel like when you use this concealer sparingly, you'll get like a really good full coverage effect without, you know, the cakiness. Because if you can easily cake up with this concealer, which is why I didn't like it initially, but I learned that I just need to not use as much as like I was accustomed to. And if I used a little bit and blended it out a lot, like it looks so natural. Like, I don't know, I feel like it looks just like my skin, but better right now. Now I'm going with the Anastasia Banana Powder, and I'm going to use this with a brush. So I didn't like this either that much in the beginning, and I think it was just because I was like using a beauty blender to pack it underneath of my eye, and I think that that's what I don't like. I like, because I'm oily, I do need powder, but I don't like the effect of like baking. And I thought that, and this powder in specific is way too heavy to bake, at least in my opinion. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit more powdery, like compared to like my Fenty powder, which is so lightweight, barely there. Like this is a little bit on the heavier side. And so I feel like this works really well with like just dusting it under your face with a brush. And then I do leave a little bit of residue on there for like just to like kind of lightly bake, but I don't do like that whole full-on bake anymore. Now I'm going in with the Fenty Caramel Cutie bronzer, and I am just going to lightly hit this on the perimeter of my face. See, this is what I'm saying, like I haven't set the entirety of my face, and I feel like if I said to go in with like a bronzer on top of a moisturizer, your bronzer would probably skip a lot. But the way that this Colourpop one is formulated, like I didn't even need to set my face, and I can go in with the powder. And can you hear the sirens? This step is what shows me that Colourpop tinted moisturizer is so nice, and it sets beautifully without powder, because I feel like you wouldn't be able to do this step, like bronzing your skin on top of just a normal moisturizer, just because it would skip a lot because of that tackiness of the bronzer. So I feel like that this step in particular, that I don't have to set my whole face, and I can still go in and like bronze and not have it look super skippy or, you know, not blending into the skin. It's what makes me really like that tinted moisturizer more now. I'm just going to go around the perimeter of my face with my beauty blender, making sure everything is pushed in. I'm also at this time like pushing in that Anastasia powder. For blush, I'm going back to my favorite MAC Gingerly. This is like my favorite blush of all time. I feel like it's so complimentary on my skin tone. It's like a really nice neutral blush. It's more, it kind of leans, it's like a pinky brown, and I feel like it goes with everything so well. And I'm going like a little bit more heavy glam when I'm going a little bit more natural. It just looks good on everything. Now I'm just going to spray my whole face with MAC Fix Plus. While that's still a little damp, I'm going to really quickly just push in everything into my skin. I feel like this is what gives that natural look to your powders. Anything you do put on, again, I'm oily skin, so I need powders. I feel like if you're drier skin, you don't even have to powder. Maybe just under your eyes to prevent creasing. But even the powder of the blush and the bronzer will all just melt in. So while your face is still a little bit damp from the spray, you're going to go in with highlight. I'm using Becca. This is Prosecco Pop. And you're just going to want to hit that on it to the tops of your cheekbones. So I've been back into like just trying to keep my highlight on the top part of my face. I feel like when I bring it down too low, it makes my cheeks look a lot more rounded, which I personally don't like because my cheeks are round anyways. So I'm just going to keep it up here to keep that glisten up here. I've really fallen in love with this highlight. I feel like I kind of forgot about it for a little bit. Okay, now I'm just really quickly going to work on my lips because it's pretty simple. So I just want to define them a little bit. I'm going in with MAC Spice Lip Liner. And it's just, again, a very light definition. So just outlining this. So that is the lips with that Spice Lip Liner. I really like it because I feel like it's really close to my natural lip line, just a little bit warmer, so it gives my lips the appearance of being a little healthier. Now I'm going to go in with this Colourpop Just a Tint Lip Crayon, and I'm using it in the shade More Than Ever. These smell so good, so good. Okay, now I'm going to go in with eyeliner, and this is the Maybelline Color Studio. This is their Blackest Black eye gel. So I'm going to take this on a really tight brush. I want to show the shape of this one. It's super tiny, super pointed. It's really helpful for eyeliner application. So I like to just pick some of this up, and then I'm also like, while I'm picking it up, I'm also kind of just like scraping it off too, because you don't want too much product going on. And then I'm going to start at the center and kind of just create the wing there. I always start like the initial application from the like pot or the tube. I always start it in the center just so that I don't have too much like product deposited onto the end of the wing or the beginning of my eye. So I'm just going to start right there and kind of just start tracing my eye shape. And then for the wing, what I want to do is I always go where my top and lower lash line meet, and I just start to pull it upwards. So I do like a really light tracing. Some people do this with eyeshadow. I just like to do it with the gel liner, just super light, so I can see the shape before I like draw it on, and then I connect it back to the line I've created. So I don't know if you can see that. It's super light. So if I did make a mistake at this point, I could, you know, clean it up without it being too messy. So that's why once I have that shape on, what I'm going to do is just kind of darken it, deepen it up. And again, even when anytime I hit put the brush in the pot, I always just like kind of clean it off in the center of my lid. And now I'm just going to fill in that triangle that I created for the wing with the gel. And that is the eyeliner. You don't want, okay, so this is where I have to stop. Like, I keep messing around with it sometimes, and that's when like the wing gets messed up. So you kind of just want to, once it's fine, like just leave it alone. If you mess around with it, I've learned, it'll mess up. The next is the part I'm the most excited about in this tutorial. I'm going to be using this NYX Vivid Eye Bright liquid liner. And this is in the shade Vivid Escape. I really wanted to play around with neon liners, and I saw NYX had them, so I wanted to kind of see. I don't know how these perform. It's my first time using it with you guys. So it comes in a really thin liner, and I basically kind of want to draw out the wing to kind of bring more emphasis to it. So I'm just going to do it at the bottom. So just like that. How's that looking? This was so much fun. This is such an easy liner to use. And I feel like the color, I'm so surprised that the color actually showed up on my skin tone too. That's another thing with like neons and pastels that I'm like, oh, I messed up. Dang it. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna go back in and try and fix the little mistakes. I made more mistakes on this side, but I'm gonna try and fix those mistakes. But right now I'm just gonna go in with mascara, and I'm using my Tarte Big Ego mascara. This is one of my favorites. It has a really nice thick wand, and I'm just going to coat that on. And I'm only gonna apply this to my upper lash line because I want to keep the look very, like, again, clean. So I'm not going to put anything on my lower lash line just to keep it super big and open. Okay, you guys, and that completes my very simple yet I feel impactful makeup look. I really enjoyed doing this. Like, I honestly, like, wing liner really scares me. So doing a wing liner and then trying to do this outline, I was really intimidated by it, but I thought, like, what better way to play with makeup than during quarantine. So yeah, I really enjoy how this turned out. I feel like it really does make such a difference, this neon line. And yeah, I really enjoyed how this look turned out, especially, like, more than the eyes, I think the skin. I am so surprised at how nice my skin looks without any kind of, like, foundation on. I mean, I did put on a little bit of concealer, but you guys saw that it wasn't that much. And I feel like my skin just looks really hydrated and healthy, and I mean, you know, just it doesn't look like I haven't been drinking water from sunrise to sunset, you know? I feel like it looks really good, which I feel like during Eid is what we want, especially in the morning when you're praying, or like when you're going around with family. I feel like you don't want to wear a lot of makeup in the daytime, but you still want to look good, and I feel like this is a really great balance of that. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you do like any of the items, I would highly suggest, if you have the darker skin, like those NYX neon liners, they are really easy to use. I feel like they show up. They are a little bit on the drier side. Like, I just feel like they dry really quickly, so you do have to work a little quickly with them and a little carefully. But like, it's a really nice liner, as you can see. It was my first time using it with you guys, and I feel like it was pretty easy to use. So I would 100% recommend that NYX lip neon or vivid lights liner. And yeah, everything in this video that I used are products that I am currently loving for my more natural makeup look. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do recreate it, please consider tagging me on Instagram or just even sending me a DM with it. I would love to see any of your guys' recreations of any of my looks. And yeah, let me know if this would be a look that you would either like, you know, rock for Eid or for any party or for even going out for brunch. I feel like this is, again, a really simple and clean look that you can rock at any time. So yeah, let me know. And again, if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, sharing with a friend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Ramadan with Rabs video. Bye!